It wasn't her words that gutted me. It was the way she laughed. "We're streamlining," she announced, voice sugared with smug corporate delight. "Today's your last day, unless mopping floors appeals to you." I heard laughter in the background. Her sister, ever the shadow with claws, adding her own brand of poison to the moment. I didn't respond. Not right away. I let the silence breathe, let it stretch between us until it felt like something living. I listened to betrayal pass between them like a shared glass of wine, savored, deliberate. Then her voice changed flat, sharp. "Don't bother coming home. The locks are changed." The line went dead before I could speak. I stood there, phone still in hand, staring into silence as if it had something more to say. Then, calmly, I whispered to no one in particular, "Appreciate the generous offer." It wasn't rage that filled me. Not grief either. It was something purer. Clarity. Cold and precise. The truth is, I'd already sensed the unraveling. Her betrayal didn't catch me off guard. It simply confirmed what my bones had already started to understand. People like her, the ones who gamble with other people's lives, always believe they're untouchable, that the strings they pull go unseen. But I'd been watching. And eventually, I saw everything. It started quietly. Missed dinners. Excuses that arrived wrapped in ambition. "You don't understand what I'm building," she told me once, her eyes wild with purpose. I nodded. Let her believe I was just the quiet, clueless husband. Let her believe I didn't see the growing distance, the late nights, the phone always face down and silent. She began coming home at hours the stars barely remembered. She carried a new perfume. Too foreign, too sweet. Her sister's voice grew louder in our finances, echoing in decisions that used to belong to both of us. "Trust the process," she'd say, without looking at me. She'd stopped doing that. Stopped kissing me like I was still her home. And then I found it. A photograph. One she forgot to delete from our shared cloud. Her hand resting on a man's thigh. His arm looped possessively around her back. She wore the same navy dress from the charity gala she swore was strictly business. That was the night something inside me shifted. I stopped being her husband. And started becoming something else entirely. There were no confrontations. No shouting. Closure is a myth sold to fools. I didn't want healing. I wanted precision. Proof. Leverage. I started with the finances. Called in a favor from an old friend, an expert in forensic accounting. He found things. Shell accounts. Strange transfers. A payment disguised as consulting fees to her sister. Every dollar told a story. Next came her phone. She slipped once, left it charging in the kitchen. One message was all it took. Asterisk, "Last night was magic. Can't believe he still doesn't know." Asterisk. From him. The man from the photo. Her legal advisor. Then came the GPS tracker. The night she claimed back-to-back meetings, she wasn't downtown. She was at his condo. Alone. I watched it all come together like a slow, deliberate storm. I gathered the evidence piece by piece, no waste, no emotion. Everything was documented. Everything cataloged. She thought I was broken. Thought I was forgettable. Replaceable. But she never really knew who she married. The final blow came in a manila envelope. DNA results. The child she swore was mine wasn't. Not biologically. He had the other man's eyes. The same man now listed as her firm's merger attorney. That night, I came home. She looked surprised. I handed her the envelope. Said nothing. She opened it, read the truth in black ink. Her hands trembled. The blood drained from her face. "I can explain," she whispered. I didn't reply. I walked past her into the bedroom we once shared and took only what mattered. My passport, a hard drive with every file, and a single cufflink I'd found under his bed. I left that on her pillow. 3 days later, she walked into a $500 million merger meeting like a queen. Confident. Unshakable. Until she saw me. I was seated beside Marcus Drennan, her largest competitor. Her smile faltered. Blinked once. Then again. She tried to speak, but no words came. I handed Marcus a folder. Everything. The financial misconduct. The affair. Documents she'd signed under false pretenses. His legal team had been waiting for this. Marcus turned to her, voice calm. Measured. You're no longer considered a viable partner. We're terminating discussions and pursuing legal action. She looked like the floor had opened beneath her. You. I leaned in. Close enough that only she could hear. You might want to change more than the locks on the house. Then I stood. Walked out. Never looked back. Closure isn't granted. It's taken. Claimed. She thought ending me would be effortless. That I'd crumble. That I'd beg. But I don't collapse like that. I wait. I sharpen. And when the time is right, I cut clean. The real blow wasn't seeing me across that table. The real blow was knowing I never raised my voice. Never lost control. I just left the truth behind like a loaded gun. And let her be the one to pull the trigger.